It pains my tiny soul to find out the amount of Planco players who are unaware of super handy quality of life features that improve your gameplay experience. Here's just a few things that you may or may not know that guarantee to make your life that little bit easier. If you play on PC, there are a whole heap of keyboard shortcuts that will cut your build time down massively. I'll just stick with the ones that I use regularly, but a full list can be found in the settings menu. The most useful shortcuts are when placing build pieces, as using the UI is less than ideal. Space will toggle angle snap, allowing you to go from increments to free rotate. V toggles align to surface. This is handy when going between things like wall decorations and then trees, which for the most part want to stay perfectly vertical despite uneven ground. Holding shift and clicking will allow you to select multiple pieces, whilst holding control and clicking will allow you to deselect. If you're free moving an item, pressing X will jump you into the advanced move, which is where I spend the majority of my build time. From this point, pressing X again will switch between lateral movement and rotate. It's worth noting that advanced move won't work with individual grid pieces. However, if you exit edit mode, you can advance move a whole building, just not on every axis if grid pieces are included. Whilst out of edit mode, selecting a building and pressing R will edit that building. Ctrl D will duplicate an object or building, whilst Ctrl X will duplicate and advance move. When placing pieces, it isn't necessary to click the UI tick, you can actually left click anywhere on the screen. Using a combination of these shortcuts guarantees to speed up your build time. Speaking of building quickly, you can create scenery groups to either duplicate or move multiple pieces at once. When out of edit mode, use the multi-select feature to select your items and then click here to create a scenery group. It's time for some triggering. Let's say you've created a lovely flickering lamppost. You want to duplicate said lamppost, but oh no, the new one isn't working. This is because if you duplicate a sequencer, it will still be attached to its original items. An easy way around this is just to blueprint your selection and place a new blueprint each time. Whilst this may seem insignificant on a small scale, for large scale triggered events this is a lifesaver. Tired of staff huffing, puffing and moaning? Can't be bothered with staff rooms and rosters? You can turn off staff management and happiness in the game settings. In here you'll also find a whole bunch of handy toggleable settings. There were a huge amount of comments on my recent Planco 2 speculation videos asking for a first-person guest camera. Well, hold on to your tiny socks, because it already exists. Just rename any guest or staff member Tegidcam for PC or Plipcam for console. Simple as that. You will now have full control of a guest to run around your park. You will have to exit Tegidcam to ride the attractions, and it's very likely you'll get stuck on a roof at some point. Speaking of alternate cameras, if PC players press T, it will change the camera mode to what's called free cam. This changes your WASD controls to more subtle movements, like strafing and up and down movement. This is super handy for working in confined spaces like interiors. Speaking of building inside, if you're working in a dark space, pressing L will turn on a light. Taking screenshots is a huge part of Planet Coaster, but I often see wasted potential when it comes to getting those great shots. Here's the steps I take to get all the screenshots you see in my thumbnails and workshop items. First of all, I hop into Tegidcam, which we all know how to do now. Next, I use the mouse wheel to zoom in. This not only zooms the camera, but alters the field of view and generally gives a much better composition. I then hide the UI using Ctrl-Shift-G, but this shortcut can be changed in the control settings. Now it's just about lining up that perfect shot and hitting F12, provided you're playing through Steam of course. If not, just use your computer's built-in screenshot capture. And there we have it, a bunch of super handy features you may not have known about to make your Planet Coaster experience that little bit more enjoyable. A lot of these features were suggested in the Planet Little Socks Discord, so thanks to everyone who contributed, and if you're not already part of the server, feel free to join. As always, have a great day and I'll catch you next time.